Vesuviant again here with another video. This is going to be another monster review. As you all have probably seen the notifications and the updates with the new Facebook reward invitations, and I don't think it's just Facebook, I think it's just invitations where you invite your friends to play Summoner's War. Go to invite friends under the community tab, I believe it is, yeah. And then you're going to press, let's see, like this, like that. You're going to press the F and the arrow, and it'll give you a box that says, do you want to invite them? And then, you'll send that to them, and they don't need to accept it. As you can see, I've sent all 50 requests, and I've gotten the Light Fairy. I can't give you the exact stats I got her at, but I have really worked on her. I evolved and awakened her. So right now her base stats at level 11 awakened are actually pretty scary. 260 attack, 164 defense, 101 speed. Now, compared to the other fairies, and I'm going to specifically say the water fairy, the most common one, the light one has more health. It's not really a lot. It's about 100, 200 more. The light one has more attack, but less defense. So that's why the water one, I believe, is the best one for tanking, because she technically has the highest base defense, 315, and she only has like 164. So this is like close to double this. So the light fairy is more of the supporting sort of fairy. The wind fairy is interesting. She requires a little bit more of team construction and team thought. I will go to her right now and describe that to you. Her first two skills are the same. This one looks different, which is kind of cool. It has a stun chance, and this one's just the purify, the heal, and remove all harmful effects. So when she's awakened, she gets this third ability, which is Spirit's Wrath, which is pretty unique. It's a single target attack, which does a base amount of damage. It increases by 30% for each harmful effect on the enemy. So this is going to be really good on dungeons, and if you have a really strong status inflicting team that has lots of dots and can easily inflict debuffs. Hopefully a defense debuff, because that would just make it even stronger. She ignored defense, and the debuff would make it even stronger. So preferably someone who could have a defense breaker. But she's nice because she has a third skill which does a good amount of damage, but she can also support with her heal. So she's classified as a support, but of course her third ability is going to do more damage based on the debuffs. The fire one, I think, which is my close second favorite, is purely the damage fairy, which you'll see a lot more than the other ones, I'm sure. She has lots of CC potential. Her first ability has a stun chance. Her second ability shoots 2 arrows. If they hit the same enemy, it stuns them. And her third ability shoots a flurry of arrows 4 to 6 times at all enemies. Each attack has a 20% chance to reduce their attack speed by 20% for 2 turns. So it's a wonderful AoE, and she's just really strong. She's the best for arena, in my opinion. Neil, which is the light fairy, she's pretty nice, but to really have her shine above the fire fairy, you need the right conditions. Excuse me for that voice crack, that was unprofessional. You need to have her for the right conditions and pick the teams correctly so she doesn't get focused, because she is pretty squishy because of her defense. But Fire Fairy, she has good defense, good attack, and good health. So she's pretty in the middle, but has really strong skills. So it's really easy to build her up. Easily my second favorite fairy, and she has a critical strike chance by 50% bonus when she gets awakened. So that's really menacing. But that was the overview of the fairies' abilities and their stats. I'd like to talk about rune builds. Rune builds can range from really anything. The water... Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to get a sip of water real quick. That's a lot better. Alright, the water one. She is, like I said, mainly the tank one, so you could build her full energy and just have her soak up damage. There's another build where you can have her take out her supporting aspect and do a little bit more damage, but you're going to need a tank instead. You're going to actually need an actual tank, because she won't be the tank. Because her heal is based on her attack power. So the way you would build that would be to go Fatal and Energy. You could go Fatal and Focus. That would help a lot because of her first and third ability, as you can see right here. You could go... Swift wouldn't really impact it a lot, so I wouldn't suggest going Swift, but you could. The sleep is pretty nice to pop off on the first turn. You could go Violent, which is a really good supporting build. You could go Violent and Energy, or you could go Violent and Focus. Those would be two viable options as well. Those would be to really get the secondary effects out of your runes. But of course you'd focus on health percent and attack. Mainly attack percent if you're going to try and bring out the supporting aspect in your fairy. But health if you're trying to stay alive longer. Let alone, she does have a nice heal. And I think if you're going to build her tanky, her heal is going to be more focused about the Purify effect rather than the actual heal itself. So I suggest having someone with a self-heal or a couple monsters with sustain in your team if you're going to build her tankier, so you don't have to rely on that heal. Because if you're going to rely on that heal and it's only healing for like 2,000, you have 8,000 health monsters, you know, you're kind of SOL. So right now I'm planning on using Fatal and Energy on this fairy, but I've contemplated using what's that rune called again? The Violent. It's really difficult to get Violent, especially if you can't farm it, so I gotta wait in the shop pretty much for them, so it'll be a while, but I think Violent is a very good option. I have a friend who has a Undine, which has a Violent set, and she hits like 4 times in a row sometimes. Like, you'd think it hit not as much because it's only like 20% chance, but when you have a healer who can keep on healing, and then you have a healer who has like a status effect, you know, that helps a lot. You keep stunning them. I love it. I love Violent. I love that set. Like, that's the reason why I'm talking about using a Violent set, because that exact reason. I probably wouldn't, because I never tried it out. And I was like, why is he gaining another turn? This doesn't make any sense. But I suggest you guys experiment on your fairies and see what you like best. Personally, I like Fatal and Energy on a lot of the fairies. Yet there's also the Focus, Energy. I mean, that's for the more supportive, tankier build. Not really going to be focusing strictly on that. But, you know, if you think about it, you can get secondary stats and really boost up the attack. So I suggest if you're going to use these fairies long term, look for some nice runes with some good secondary stats that they're going to need. Attack percent, health percent. Those are two vital stats. You could also go for the fire, go critical chance and critical damage. You could go accuracy, and you could go resistance if you're building her more tanky and putting her on defense, or just using her as a meat shield for a dungeon or something. But that's pretty much been this video. And the update. It's a wonderful monster. She is very helpful. Doesn't take a lot to get awakened. The same materials as the other fairies, just light. So if you guys do plan on using this monster, good luck. There's a lot of different rune builds you can use for her, so just use what you feel is best for your team. And I wish you guys good luck with your fairies. That's pretty much been it. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe and like. Put comments down below about your fairies, anything else. Any other monster reviews you want me to address, I will be more than glad to do so. See you guys.